I'm warning you right now, my voice is shaky, I'm nervous as hell. Good morning guys, so today's video is going to be not as fun as the last one that I posted. Today's video is going to be a lot more serious, and I need to start off by saying that I'm so thankful to anyone who has given me support so far, whether that's by seeing me in person if you know about these videos, or for the people that have sent me messages that don't even know me. I appreciate your messages so much. They give me so much courage and so much strength, more than what you probably think they would. I know that if I messaged someone that I didn't know, I wouldn't really think that my message would really go that far with them, but I promise you, any support that I've received has meant so much to me and has given me enough strength to make this video. Something that people keep saying to me in these messages or to my face is how brave I am and how strong I am for putting all this on the internet. And if I'm being honest, for the most part, I have felt strong making these videos. I haven't felt regret or shame or anything, because I knew that this was what I wanted to do. But sitting here today is the most nervous I've been, and that is because today's video is one that is so important, and it's one that I always knew I wanted to make, but it is the hardest to talk about. So something that is so common that I've said before is that if you have an eating disorder, you understand that at one point in your life you've probably experienced someone saying to you that eating disorders are caused by social media, or I bet you got it because you want to look a certain way. This is so frustrating to so many of us because it's not always the case. And if it is the case, because yes, sometimes your eating disorder might not be caused by social media, but it is brought on by social media. And if you are someone whose eating disorder was brought on by social media, it can be so hard to hear these things and to see this stigma, because it makes you feel like your reason is not valid. When people constantly say, eating disorders are caused by social media, they're caused by wanting to look a certain way, it can make you feel like your reason isn't valid. It can make you think, I'm so stereotypical, I just want to look a certain way, like I brought this on myself for wanting to have a certain type of body or a certain image. And it can be so demeaning for people with eating disorders. And so I really needed to put that out there, because for me, mine wasn't caused by social media, and this video is going to explain that. But this video is hard because there are so many people in my life that know about my eating disorder, but that don't know the very first time I actually experienced bulimia. And it's not so much the shame, because I don't feel shame because it wasn't my fault. It's just so sad, and it's so hard to talk about because it's not what you expect. So for me, my first experience with bulimia was when I was just 6 years old. And so the reason this is so hard to talk about is because I feel so sorry for that little girl. I feel sorry for 6-year-old me, who had no idea what was going on, who had no idea why she was having these feelings or these emotions. I was a child, and to grow up in a world where I'm constantly being told that my disorder was caused by what I want to look like is so hard, because I just want to scream at people. Do you have any idea how old I was when I first experienced this? I didn't even know about body image at the age of 6. I didn't look at other girls and want to look a certain way. I was a child. So for me, I was 6 years old, and it was at my birthday party. I just remember it being a really good day. I don't remember anything ever being wrong. I remember my mum had made cupcakes with Happy Birthday Rachel written in individual letters on each cupcake. And I remember the cake that we had, and I remember playing games and getting dressed up, and I was in a fairy costume, and I remember it being a really good day. I am sitting here telling this story because I know so many people go through this, and I know it's so hard to think that you're the only one who might be screwed up. It is so hard to sit here and be brave, and one day I will go public with this account. It might be in a week, it might be a month or a year, I don't know, but one day I will go public. And it's so hard to sit here and think, oh my God, you know, one day everyone you went to high school with, everyone that you met briefly, anyone that thought maybe you were a nice person, maybe you might run into them again, anyone you have ever met or known is going to see these videos. And I know that it wasn't my fault. I know it's mental illness, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I want to stand up for so many people that don't have a voice. But it is so hard to detach myself from all the thoughts of thinking all these people you've ever met are going to look at you and know that at the age of 6. The thing is, I know the more I talk about, the more I say, the more I post, the stronger I get. I already feel so much braver after posting my first video, and this is just another step. So at this party, like I said, I remember playing games, I was having a good time, and we'd eaten a lot, you know, as kids do. We'd eaten cake and cupcakes and lollies, and I just remember standing at the table where all the lollies and food was, and I remember suddenly feeling like something was wrong. I remember feeling the way you feel when you're a child and you get yelled at because you've made a mistake. I remember feeling like I needed to fix something, like I had done something terrible and it needed to be fixed. I remember feeling somewhat detached from my body. It sounds so weird, but it's like I could see myself, and I felt like I wasn't me. I felt like suddenly someone else was putting thoughts in my head. I remember I just started walking up the stairs towards my house. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was leaving the party, but I just remember getting up to leave. And I walked into the house, and I walked down the corridor, and I came to the bathroom. And it's so hard to think about this because I just picture this poor 6-year-old child who has no idea what she's doing. I went into the toilet, and I remember staring down and not knowing what I was doing, not knowing why I had these thoughts, where I'd even gotten this idea from. I was 6. I didn't read magazines, I didn't look at videos on YouTube, I didn't see other girls and want to look like them. I had no idea what I was supposed to look like. I was just a kid. And I remember looking down and just having this thought in my head that you know what you have to do. And I remember being so confused. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to my sister if she ever watches this video, because she watches all of them. I'm so sorry, because I can't imagine being a sister or a parent and thinking that their poor child is doing something so harmful to themselves at such a young age. And you would do anything to take that away from them. I remember getting down onto my knees and sticking my fingers down my throat. I don't need to talk about anything from that moment while I was in there. I can say that it didn't technically work. But I remember afterwards coming out, and I remember walking past my mum. She was in the kitchen and she was getting something ready. And I remember her just smiling at me, and she asked me if I was having fun. She had no idea what I'd just done. And I remember feeling so guilty, like I had done something really bad. And I just remember knowing that I couldn't tell her because I would get in trouble because what I did was wrong. I don't know what I said to her. I probably just smiled and said that I was having heaps of fun. I just remember I went straight back outside and acted like nothing happened. So for me, my bulimia wasn't caused by social media. It wasn't caused by thinking I needed to look a certain way, wanting to lose weight. It wasn't caused by anything like that, because my first experience was when I was 6 years old. That wasn't where it continued, but that was where it started. That was my first experience, and I didn't do it again for years and years. I didn't even think about it, but it's obviously something that I can't forget. And I still to this day don't know why I did it. I wish I did. I really wish I did so I could tell you guys. So maybe if you have an eating disorder or you know someone with an eating disorder, you could maybe understand why they start in the first place. But for me, my first experience makes no sense to me. I have ideas. I definitely have ideas, but I don't know for sure. And like I said, I didn't do it for years after. I didn't even think about it. And my full eating disorder, as I kind of like to say, didn't really start so severely until I was 17, I think. And at that point, that's what I talk about on this channel. That's what I've already brought up. What's caused other issues in my life was when I was 17 and it started, and it was the worst experience, and it got to the most severe point. That was that stage. And that's the stage that I'm recovering from now. And I don't want people to think that I'm doing this video so they'll think that I'm the worst case scenario or that my experience is more valid than anyone else's. It's not. An eating disorder doesn't pick the strongest or the weakest human. It doesn't pick the human with the best life experiences or the worst. It doesn't pick you if you're smart or funny or talented. It doesn't pick you if you're the happiest person in the world or the saddest person in the world. An eating disorder takes anyone. Your experiences and your eating disorder is valid no matter how it came on. Whether it came on when you were 6, 10, 12, 16, 24, 30, it doesn't matter how old you are or how it started. If it is brought on by you wanting to look a certain way, maybe you try to diet and it went really badly, it's not you wanting to be thinner that causes your eating disorder. There is something else going on, and it takes many of us so many years to figure out what's wrong, and I'm still working it out. I want to end this video on a happier note. So I'm going to go back to what I said at the start, and that is that I'm so grateful to anyone who has shown me support, whether that is a simple comment, whether that is a message, whether I've seen you in person if you're one of the few that know about this channel. I appreciate everything you say, and I appreciate every little piece of support. And like I've said before, I don't want all my videos to be so hard to talk about and so emotional. I know it's going to get easier, and this was just one that I knew that I had to make. And they're not all going to be so sad, I promise. I will be posting another video tomorrow, and that one is actually going to be a clothes haul from Shein, which I spoke about in my last haul that I did. So that's just something to look forward to. That's going to be more fun. It's going to be more uplifting. It's not going to be so serious. I love you guys so much, and I can't thank you enough for your support. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in my next one. Bye guys.